You're now tuned into the Matrixx. The shady groove covering the bases. Deep diving as you go through the basics. You think to say you breathe, but what's it laced with? Preconceived notions that you face with. That's just a mind state, truth will erase it. You came for truth, now it's time to face it. Bring it open mind, leave it complacent. You all became trapped, yeah, we're ready for war. And there's no going back once you go through the door. Once you get a taste of truth, you get a hunger for more. intheMatrixxx.com, building up for the floor. Bring it dark to light like never before. Time to hit the website, let me give you a tour. Hit the Patreon now if you support the cause. If you love the work we do, that's a form of applause. Bring it back every day, not for an award. Red pilling in itself is the greatest reward. Follow at intheMatrixxx and at Shady Groove. At Spirit on, yeah, you know what to do. Matrixxx Groove, the two together forming a crew. That's the move, come and be a part of it too. For the love of our people while we do what we do. Hard work and dedication just to bring it to you. It's crazy, cause they thought that she never lose. Now they all lose by the power that they abuse. intheMatrixxx got threads in each one of the proofs. We're right over the target every time they get true. The threat about the base or seal the deal. We are the new media, the world of the real. You can't put your finger on it, but it's something you feel. You know the truth is out there, but they keep it concealed. That's why we shine the light when you need to reveal. You got the armor of God, we're providing the shield. Time to take the kill boxes and switch them around. Cause we're out of the matrix, so the truth will be found. Enjoy the show, that makes us tumble it down. As we watch the deep state burn down to the ground. It's all done behind the scenes without hearing the sound. They took you for a joke and they're fearing us now. All the times it's played death, but they're hearing us now. They put a wall around the truth, but we're tearing it down. They want to grow in, thinking it isn't even allowed. But this is red pill music, hope you're hearing it loud. Be your own person now, separate from the crowd. True army, digital, soldiers, ready and proud. These are digital rounds, it's a weapon of sound. And class is in session, and the lesson is now.
Wow, here we go, man. Wow, we're going to get some stuff tied together today. It is 1/8/2020. We're going to go through some stuff. You're going to see these Iran posts really tied together today as we go through the happenings in the last 24 hours. And with that, I want to bring on my partner in justice, Mr. Shady Groove. Shady.
Boom, Matrixxx. How are you doing today?
Wait, say that again.
I said boom.
Boom. Nice. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I like this new intro. We're gonna use it for a little bit. You know, we'll switch it up every now and again. But I kind of like how, you know, Severe brings all this together, man. And you know, it's Shady and Matrixxx, the two forming a crew. And we're all about the truth here, guys. And, you know, we got a lot of great people in here, a lot of great Anons making music. Make sure you check out Severe Anon over there on his channel, guys. Amazing. So
really appreciate him joining us yesterday. That was a nice time. I really appreciate his perspective, and thanks him again for all the time you put in to lend your voice to this movement.
Right on. And Isabella says, missed the old intro. Don't worry, we'll have it back. Don't worry. You guys all missed the original because I guess we're kind of used to it now, right? So should we go back out and come back in?
No, let's just go on.
All right, we're just gonna come on. We'll make you guys happy. Don't you worry. We rely on you. We could not be doing this without you today. Please make sure you get over to redpillliving.com/intheMatrixxx with 3 X's. Go over there and check their stuff out. They've got the Carbon C60 liposomals, Keela Cream, Carbon Shield C60. So it's 100 times more effective in removing free radicals than vitamin E, and 172 more times more effective than vitamin C. So why would you not want that, especially if you are in the wintertime areas, folks, when you don't get a lot of sun? So get your C60 instead. So thank you very much. redpillliving.com/intheMatrixxx with 3 X's. Also, I want to make sure you guys are, we've done a lot of these pins, guys, and I want to thank the Patriot Pin company there. Get yours today. The links are in the description. They're very, very nice quality. The Q flag one is amazing. I'll be wearing a couple of these over in Tampa. And don't forget about that. That's the Red Pill Roadshow over in Tampa as well. So we'll be over there. And unfortunately, Shady is not able to make it over there with us. But we will, we'll speak as all the stuff that we've been doing, obviously, with our show here together, the Q Lounge Live, all the stuff that we've been doing together, the Red Pill Roadshow Tampa this weekend, Saturday, January 11th, 2020, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Save that date. Get over there if you can. There's tickets. There's over 400. They're free, but 400 people actually confirmed so far. Shady, 400 people at McDill Park on 100 North Ashley in Tampa, Florida. Shady.
Yeah, that's going to be a real nice time. I think that you guys are going to enjoy getting together. I really was trying to get over there this year, and I'm going to make the next one. I already promised I would make the next one wherever they do it.
Nice. Daddy, thank you, Daddy Donella. I appreciate Donlia. Excuse me. Daddy Donlia is how I would pronounce that. I hope that's right. We're going to pass on this because we know that they're having a hard time calling Soleimani a terrorist. In fact, Laura Ingraham, Shady, yesterday sounded like she listened to our shows because we've been saying, isn't it interesting that the Democrats and the anti-Trumpers, if you will, because they're more than just Democrats, folks. The people that are against our president, they're all speaking the Iranian talking points, Shady.
Yeah, they are. They're very, very complimentary of the regime, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You would almost imagine the Rachel Maddow or Chris Matthews crying like the Ayatollah did.
Well, according to, what's interesting too, according to the lawyers of Rachel Maddow, she is supposed to say that they're saying that her show isn't truth. I mean, she might have to have a disclaimer, guys. Also, guys, if you guys want to help me get over the Tampa, here's the link to help me in the best possible, fastest way. Thank you guys very much. This is also really interesting because not only do we have, quid pro Chelsea, or Joe and Hunter and John Kerry and Heinz Kerry. Look at this, guys. We've got quid pro Chelsea now. Quid pro Pelosi. Quid pro everybody, guys.
Yeah, I think it's quid pro everybody in your government.
And I think we're seeing the destruction of it right now. But isn't this interesting here? Why not use CNN against themselves? U.S. sent a plane with $400 million in cash to Iran. General Soleimani killed in airstrike in Baghdad airport. This is the money. This is a picture of the money that they sent over. That's only $2.5 million, folks. That's one skid.
That's only $2.5 million of $1.5 billion.
Yeah.
Okay.
And where's John Kerry?
Where is John Kerry?
Where is he? Is he in that missing seat? We're going to get to that in a minute. Also, Steve Scalise says breaking the Senate is ready to begin the impeachment trial during the same rules as Schumer agreed to in the Clinton trial. That seems fair to me, right?
Yes.
And remember, Steve Scalise was actually shot by somebody that the media has hyped up and spun up to hate Trump people and Republicans, folks.
That's correct.
God bless you, Steve Scalise. Pelosi lost. She's not getting her absurd partisan demands. She never had a case, and now the charade is over, or charade, however you want to say that. I kind of think charade. House and Dems, need to do their Senate job. I mean, they did the House job, and you know what, guys? Still, our president is not impeached. Why is that, Shady?
Because the articles have not been sent to the Senate.
That's correct, and you'll see. I tuned into Crap NN, and they basically said impeached. No, he's not impeached, folks. Yes, they voted to impeach him, but they didn't send the articles in. So if you know real history and the law, he is not impeached until the articles are sent to Senate. Capiche?
Correct.
Capiche.
That is correct.
Right on. Dems have no case.
It's not just a vote.
It's not a vote.
It's an action to move the case from the House to the Senate. The impeachment is that actual action. Without the votes being enough, then they couldn't send it. So what's the difference between what they're doing and the votes not being enough and not sending it?
That's right. Kimber Santo, God bless you. Thank you so much, Kimber. Also, guys, we can now really start the show because Rand's here. Are you guys ready?
Hey, Rand.
All right, Rand, here we go. We're going to start the show. Welcome, Rand. Here we go. I love it, right? Isn't that fun? We're going to go. Here we go. I'm kidding. We already did it. All right. So welcome, Rand. I'm glad you made it. Better late than never. And guys, make sure you understand that we have a show every day, 1300 hours Eastern time, every day, guys, Monday through Friday. We have usually a show every day, Monday through Friday. And don't forget to check on the Q Lounge Live every Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern, guys. We don't get, we're one of the most censored ones out there, guys. Remember we were talking about our General Flynn?
Yesterday.
Yep. So Attorney Sidney Powell responds to the DOJ's sudden change of their standing and their smears on Flynn. But I messaged Joe, and the reality of these guys are, and I will quote, F no, we think he's going to prison. That's the reality we are faced with. We have to fight. So guys, we have to fight to make sure that our General Flynn does not go to prison, guys.
Yes.
This is not a game. This is not a game.
And to me, this looks like a strong arm tactic.
Yeah.
To intimidate him and to make him quick, because since he got Sidney on his team as the new attorneys, obviously the old attorneys were throwing him under the bus. She's fighting for him, and she's bringing up all the inconsistencies of the swamp and how they treated him, and they're like, well, this isn't going quietly into that good night.
That's right.
And trying to get him to change his tactics back to being quiet.
Yep, and we had some people in here go, oh my gosh, Flynn. I know, but I really do believe he's going to be okay. Okay, I do. And we're going to get to that right here. Let me just open this thread, Shady. The brilliant Anons, of course, they took a look at this Fox News article and said the DOJ seeks up to 6 months of prison sentence for General Flynn. And if you look down at the Q posts here, let me see if I can make them a little bit bigger. There we go. If you look down at this one here, there's plus 21, plus 2, plus 4. So 2 plus 4 is 6. Also, the day yesterday was January 7th of 2020, and 21 days later will be January 28th, okay? And that's when the judge Sullivan is supposed to be scheduled for sentencing with Judge Emmett Sullivan. So right. 21/6, 6 months, 21 days. Very interesting. I'm hoping and praying that our Anons are correct on this one.
Me too.
Yeah. But I thought that was very interesting. Well done, brilliant Anons. Well done. All right, so we got that. Let me get back to over here. All right, Anons put this together. Very interesting. Also, remember, we kind of went over this. Folks, this is our president today. 69.5 million followers.
Another 500,000.
Look at this. As of the 28th, he had 68 million. That's 1.5 million since December 28th. Winning.
10 days. In 10 days.
In 10 days, guys. With impeachment going on, folks. With this.
That's like 150,000 new people following him a day.
Maybe it's because of stuff like this. Let's take a look at this.
He killed an American. Now 2 people are dead from the same attack, and some people very badly wounded. And that was one of his smaller endeavors. You look over his past, he's been called a monster, and he was a monster. And he's no longer a monster, he's dead. And that's a good thing for a lot of countries. And he was planning a very big attack and a very bad attack for us and other people, and we stopped him. And I don't think anybody can complain about it. I don't hear too many people, other than politicians, who are trying to win the presidency. Those are the ones that are complaining, but I don't hear anybody else complain.
Wow. People are saying over 70 million now, guys.
That's what I just saw.
Yeah. Wow. See that? It's because of stuff like this, folks. They are not behind you, Pelosi and the Democrats and the fake news media. They are not behind you. So what do, Shady? They go to people like @RealDonaldTrump to follow the real news and find out what our real president is saying instead of their spin factories.
Man, I was thinking last night about him and Twitter and projecting into the future of we're not gonna be able to have another president that doesn't know how to use Twitter.
No,
I mean, and whoever becomes the next president after he's finished, he's gonna have to give them a lesson.
Yeah,
because this just the fake news. Now we see that the only reason they were able to control this narrative for 140 years was because the bully pulpit actually didn't have a platform.
That's right.
The only platform was the newspaper and the talking heads.
And the newspapers were owned by the Council on Foreign Relations. They bought 25 newspapers. The CFR put editors there and controlled the narrative across the world.
So no matter what
Or
the president
country.
really says or does, they can insert whatever narrative that they want. I mean, that is really probably one of the biggest eye openers for anybody coming to understand what Q is and what we're doing here. It's that, our mission is to simply wake people up to paying attention to what the president says, not what the filters say in between you and him.
That's right. 70.3 million, says Spud. Wow, Shady. And that's it. This is why we need this. Also, Shady, look at this. Remember the planes in Utah?
I do.
Look at this. What are the odds? Now, everybody, there's a Utah data center there. Utah, what are the odds of that? There's Huber in Utah, right? We know that. And now there's 52 planes going over to get 52 targets in honor of the 52 hostages.
There are also 6 B-52s moved to Diego Garcia, which is there south of.
Yeah, that's Gitmo 2.
Yeah, well, that's south. That's far enough south of there to where Iran can't reach with any of their lob missiles.
That's right. Also, yesterday during our dig, we found this $1.5 billion in contract in Iraq for Biden's little brother, guys. So now it's really starting to come to fruition, what we're starting to understand and what we're starting to see. This, by the way, was at Utah, the Hill Air Force Base. He couldn't get on the base. This is Walk with Q, and his Q card right there at the Air Force Museum. How cool is that, guys?
That is super cool. And speaking of Biden, by the way, did you see the stuff coming out on his son?
Yes, using aliases and stuff, right?
Using aliases and getting arrested under the alias, and his brother, and acquiring properties under that name. Yeah. So really going the extra mile to insert himself as his brother who's passed away.
Hey, Matt Freeman says, best show on YouTube, Shady. Thanks.
Thank you, Matt.
Yeah, Matt. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. We're working hard for you guys.
It means a lot.
It does mean a lot. And Shady, that's absolutely right. We also know people that have been arrested under different aliases. Pretty interesting, huh?
It is interesting.
Rico. All right, so no presidential address last night. We understood that, but basically, I operators were active last night, guys, and I said prayers. And DKS Tweets has news from their family. They've got 3 active right now over there, and there is a lot of praying going on with people, with their operators being active. Now let's take a look, Shady, at the 2-year delta from yesterday. This was it's like. Can you say looking glass?
Looking glass.
Yeah. All right, here we go. God forever bless our brave and women who would give their life to defend this great country. God bless each and every patriot in the world. Let freedom ring. Matt Freeman. What about that? So let's keep going. 2-year delta. We will never lose again when this is finished. Not when, but when this is finished. WHEN. So there's an I, an H, and an E. Very interesting. I never noticed that spelling error when we were going over these tweets or these posts. I don't remember that.
I don't remember that one either.
But I guess we're going to win this, guys. Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. So look at this, guys. DEFCON 1, 4/10/20, Fire and Fury. 9 states of class ready to go live. 34 commands live. Codes command action. Non-nuclear. I can't say nuclear. Gosh, I sound like George Bush, don't I? Non-nuclear. Nuclear. 1 in Killbox Owl. 1 in Killbox Q. 34 commands live, 52, 9 states of class, 9 states, Islamic states. Who knows what that is, guys? Very interesting, right?
It's definitely a 2-year delta.
Right, and this is Sky Fortress engaged, guys. President Papers 1 confirmed. Action DB blah, 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 stringer code, right? For God and country, Sky Fortress engaged. Q. mean, this is probably how serious it was last night, guys.
Well, it looked like the president had been up a while.
It does. He looked a little short. He had a little shorter breath, and it did look like he was up for quite a while. God bless our president. Leah Green, free Flynn. Absolutely. Free him. I mean, he's there on fake charges, guys. Right? So Iran, this is Zavid Sharif. And they're even reporting today that they missed. And they might have missed on purpose, they're saying. Right?
Oh, they definitely missed on purpose.
Yeah, so Iran took and concluded proportionate measures in self-defense under Article 51 of the UN Charter targeting base, which cowardly armed attacks against our citizens and senior officials were launched. We do not seek escalation of war, but will defend ourselves against any aggression. So I responded to this. What? And, this is Q Post 1604, Shady. You want to read it?
I am not there because we don't have the screen share up.
Oh my gosh,
But I would.
So here we go. I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to get the screen share up. This is, we stand with the good people of Iran who are currently battling their installed regime for freedom. Right? True rule, the people have the power. Rise up and demand they be removed. And here's the point about maybe why they missed. At some point, military generals will act with the will of the people and simply because their soldiers are those same people and have no choice. We stand with you. We are monitoring the situation closely. Stay safe. God bless. Q. Interesting, right? What if those generals and those, because Soleimani is now dead.
Yep.
What about that? Isn't that interesting, right? What do you guys think over there? Do you think they missed on purpose?
I definitely think they missed on purpose, man. I swear, what I think this is just a way for them to say, this could even be part of the plan.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there could be, we don't know that there's not back channel communications going on here between our president and good guys, white hats inside Iran.
That's right. And look at these people.
Very possible.
17,
and so,
5, yeah.
on its face, you could say that we got to give them, we got to, on the battlefield, we got to give them room to save face amongst their people.
Yes. Michael Austin just said, yes, saving face. Yep. They all think the same thing. It's a movie, right? We are watching a movie. We've been told that many times, Shady.
And the to me, that statement that they made was, please don't blow us up.
Right.
Yeah. It's not it's definitely not a declaration of war against United States targets. I mean, think about the salivating that you've watched the mainstream media do since the killing of Soleimani.
Right.
And it's like you say the word war and they're like hungry dogs coming to the food.
They want war with Iran, guys.
They want war. That's all they want. And they're like, oh, we might get it. And then they're going to attack whichever side for bombing Iraq and weapons of mass destruction. Did you ever hear any counter to the weapons of mass destruction narrative in the mainstream news?
Nope.
It was pretty much the run-of-the-mill cross conservative and liberal news for 3 years.
Yep, they use a method of mass distortion.
Yes,
Deception.
exactly.
There you go. Somebody here said, and I can't remember who it was, I'm trying to go up there, said that we might have been even tipped off on that. Yeah. Very interesting. Now, look at our president said, all is well. This is all he said yesterday, right? All is well. Missiles launched from Iran at 2 military bases located in Iraq. Assessment of casualties and damages taking place now. So far, so good. We have the most powerful and well-equipped military anywhere in the world by far. I will be making a statement tomorrow morning. And boy, we're gonna go check that statement out as we go through this timeline.
A little note on the fake news from last night. They released as soon as the news started to break of that, multiple news outlets were reporting the president was going to come out and talk.
Right.
And then Stephanie Grisham from the White House released a press made a press release that said, "This is completely fake news. No one ever reached out to ask for us," and they were saying that that we've talked to the White House and they're going to do a press conference like they know something that's going to happen.
Right. And look what we reported. No. We said no presidential address tonight. We knew too, Shady.
No war. There's no war for your salivating.
That's right. That's right. So let's go back up too. Let's hear what Hillary would have said about Iran.
Whatever stage of development they might be in their nuclear weapons program in the next 10 years, during which they might foolishly consider launching an attack on Israel, we would be able to totally obliterate them. That's a terrible thing to say, but those people who run Iran need to understand that, because that perhaps will deter them from doing something that would be reckless, foolish, and tragic.
There you go. So she...
Is it me, or does she not blink?
Yeah, that's the clone doesn't have the same blinking per minute as pattern as a human. Seriously, but isn't that interesting, right? Like, you know, she talks like our president would talk, but obviously we know that everything else is different, right? This is a scam that she's running, but you know,
where did they get the uranium?
Well, we all will know that, guys. I mean, watch that Iran thing, and we're going to talk more about that up here too. But you know,
so she gave him, she participated in getting them the uranium, and then she's telling you that she's going to bomb them if they try to create a weapon.
That's right.
Well, what else are you going to do with uranium?
Yeah. Bomb Iran.
if you can't see the problem, reaction, solution, Hegelian dialectic, that you're not going to see it.
Yeah, you're not going to see it if you're not going to see it. Yeah, absolutely.
And someone says, Lisa in here says, was uranium one from Bundy, is referring to the Murrah Federal Building takeover out here in Oregon. Exactly what was going on there that no one told you was that these guys were protecting federal lands from being taken over for uranium mining.
That's right.
That's what they were trying to expose. That's the reason they took that building over and were trying to get press, was because the government was stealing people's land so that they could give it to foreigners to dig for uranium.
Mainly China. Harry Reid had deals with China, promised it all to China, folks.
Right. That's exactly what was going on, and those guys were trying to tell people, and it ended up they targeted and killed an American who was riding in a vehicle.
Lavoy.
Yes, Lavoy Fincham was killed.
Finnegan. Lavoy Finnegan.
Shot in cold blood.
Yeah.
Getting out of his car.
Absolutely. So here we go, guys. Here we go. Look what I found last night. There is a Ukrainian plane crash, Shady. It had technical problems.
It was a 737.
that just, you know, reports say that it burst into flames. Before we get to that, because that I found that last night, and there's more happenings in the morning. So here we go on our timeline. Look what happened last night, guys. Did you see
that
this?
That was from the eclipse.
There it is.
That's the eclipse from what was it? Was it New Year's? It was
yesterday. It was this morning, Shady, in Iran.
I'm pretty sure that was the eclipse. This is from
8 January. It was yesterday.
The article, not the eclipse. The article was just posted, but the eclipse was the other day.
It happened last night, this morning.
You're
saying you're right. Look I did. They should have said it then.
Yeah, they don't put it like that. This was the
26th, December 26th.
Right after Christmas.
Yep. The day after Christmas. Yep. But interesting. Look at that. Very interesting shots, guys. So yeah, I thought it was just yesterday, guys. So that's my bad. Yep, Shady, nice job. Thank you.
The article was yesterday, and it was going around on Twitter yesterday.
Yep. I wonder why.
I didn't see this before.
I had 1.4K going around on Twitter. So here we go. This is the Flynn about Soleimani. This is why our general. Just imagine if they allowed him to get Soleimani when he wanted to get him. Shady?
He's tweeted about Soleimani.
Well, that's the tweet. Yeah. We covered that 3 days ago, give or take, and now it's in the news. See, this is it. I even had that. We went over this tweet, unless we didn't because we did Iran. But anyways, we have it on our timelines, guys.
It was on the timeline. I think we did cover it the other day.
Soleimani, #1 terrorist in the world, now a good guy in Iran, #1 state sponsor of terrorism, now has nuke capabilities. And what happened? This was July 14, 2005. Flynn, we're gonna take you to court. We're gonna ruin your life, General Flynn, because you know the truth. You know where the bodies are buried. That's what is happening to our general.
And he spoke up. That's what's happening.
Could
It's
you
not to say-
imagine if we got him when we knew this, Shady? How many lives? We wouldn't need wounded warriors today, folks.
Well, they're accrediting him with over 600 dead Americans.
The president said 1,000 today.
Probably is, and as your alternative media, we've given them, what, 3 days, 4 days now to cry and whine and say that what the president's saying isn't true. And I've already heard that within probably the day, maybe by tomorrow, they're going to be outlining what it was that what they were really planning, because this had to do with Syria as well as Iraq and other points.
Well, they're all connected.
Yes.
I mean, we're acting like they're different countries, folks, and they're not.
And they're removing the Quds Force funding. They're now retreating in some locations, even maybe in Egypt and what's the other place? Jordan. So they're having noticeable drawdowns in their troops since the killing of Soleimani.
Yep. And they're all celebrating.
That means human beings are safer.
Even though I don't really like Marco Rubio, he did say what I was saying. I was noticing a lot of fake videos and disinformation going on Twitter last night, Shady. You even said something like it's going bat poop crazy.
I did say that.
And we're witnessing coordinated informational warfare regarding the Iran attack, spreading false information designed to create confusion and division. That's why I was very careful last night on what I tweeted out about the situation. Here's your Iran new earthquake, Shady. 4.9, almost a 5.0.
Very, very interesting timing with this, considering, we've talked about other earthquakes and stuff that have happened that look like, they're in areas where there's deep underground bases. A lot of people speculating that this could have been us taking out some of the underground bases. I think that's very, very plausible.
Well, listen to what our president said coming right out. What did he say? Iran will never have a nuclear weapon as long as I'm president. Be happy.
That means that the plan that they had is no longer working.
That's right. That's right. So let's go ahead and listen to our president. It's well worth it. You're going to hear some things that you may not have heard. I want you guys to pay attention to the numbers, okay, that he used in the address. He used the number 1979. He used last week, 7 days ago, is 1/120. 4 service members, 1 American, 2 drones, 150 billion, 1.8 billion cash given by Obama, 1,050 people killed, 2.5 trillion military spent. 3 months ago, 100% ISIS killed, tens of thousands. And I only thought 1 drone went down, but it looks like 2. So let's listen to our president and listen to what the first thing that he says, guys. We had an earthquake near a nuclear facility, and guess what?
As long as I'm president of the United States, Iran will never be allowed to have a nuclear weapon. Good morning. I'm pleased to inform you the American people should be extremely grateful and happy. No Americans were harmed in last night's attack by the Iranian regime. We suffered no casualties. All of our soldiers are safe, and only minimal damage was sustained at our military bases. Our great American forces are prepared for anything. Iran appears to be standing down, which is a good thing for all parties concerned and a very good thing for the world. No American or Iraqi lives were lost because of the precautions taken, the dispersal of forces, and an early warning system that worked very well. I salute the incredible skill and courage of America's men and women in uniform. For far too long, all the way back to 1979 to be exact, nations have tolerated Iran's destructive and destabilizing behavior in the Middle East and beyond. Those days are over. Iran has been the leading sponsor of terrorism, and their pursuit of nuclear weapons threatens the civilized world. We will never let that happen. Last week, we took decisive action to stop a ruthless terrorist from threatening American lives. At my direction, the United States military eliminated the world's top terrorist, Qasem Soleimani. As the head of the Quds Force, Soleimani was personally responsible for some of the absolutely worst atrocities. He trained terrorist armies, including Hezbollah, launching terrorist strikes against civilian targets. He fueled bloody civil wars all across the region. He viciously wounded and murdered thousands of U.S. troops, including the planting of roadside bombs that maim and dismember their victims. Soleimani directed the recent attacks on U.S. personnel in Iraq that badly wounded 4 service members and killed 1 American, and he orchestrated the violent assault on the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad. In recent days, he was planning new attacks on American targets, but we stopped him. Soleimani's hands were drenched in both American and Iranian blood. He should have been terminated long ago. By removing Soleimani, we have sent a powerful message to terrorists. If you value your own life, you will not threaten the lives of our people. As we continue to evaluate options in response to Iranian aggression, the United States will immediately impose additional punishing economic sanctions on the Iranian regime. These powerful sanctions will remain until Iran changes its behavior. In recent months alone, Iran has seized ships in international waters, fired an unprovoked strike on Saudi Arabia, and shot down 2 U.S. drones. Iran's hostilities substantially increased after the foolish Iran nuclear deal was signed in 2013, and they were given $150 billion, not to mention $1.8 billion in cash. Instead of saying thank you to the United States, they chanted death to America. In fact, they chanted death to America the day the agreement was signed. Then Iran went on a terror spree, funded by the money from the deal, and created hell in Yemen, Syria, Lebanon, Afghanistan, and Iraq. The missiles fired last night at us and our allies were paid for with the funds made available by the last administration. The regime also greatly tightened the reins on their own country, even recently killing 1,500 people at the many protests that are taking place all throughout Iran. The very defective JCPOA expires shortly anyway and gives Iran a clear and quick path to nuclear breakout. Iran must abandon its nuclear ambitions and end its support for terrorism. The time has come for the United Kingdom, Germany, France, Russia, and China to recognize this reality. They must now break away from the remnants of the Iran deal, or JCPOA. And we must all work together toward making a deal with Iran that makes the world a safer and more peaceful place. We must also make a deal that allows Iran to thrive and prosper and take advantage of its enormous untapped potential. Iran can be a great country. Peace and stability cannot prevail in the Middle East as long as Iran continues to foment violence, unrest, hatred, and war. The civilized world must send a clear and unified message to the Iranian regime. Your campaign of terror, murder, mayhem will not be tolerated any longer. It will not be allowed to go forward. Today, I am going to ask NATO to become much more involved in the Middle East process. Over the last 3 years, under my leadership, our economy is stronger than ever before, and America has achieved energy independence. These historic accomplishments change our strategic priorities. These are accomplishments that nobody thought were possible. And options in the Middle East became available. We are now the #1 producer of oil and natural gas anywhere in the world. We are independent, and we do not need Middle East oil. The American military has been completely rebuilt under my administration at a cost of $2.5 trillion. U.S. armed forces are stronger than ever before. Our missiles are big, powerful, accurate, lethal, and fast. Under construction are many hypersonic missiles. The fact that we have this great military and equipment, however, does not mean we have to use it. We do not want to use it. American strength, both military and economic, is the best deterrent. 3 months ago, after destroying 100% of ISIS and its territorial caliphate, we killed the savage leader of ISIS, al-Baghdadi, who was responsible for so much death, including the mass beheadings of Christians, Muslims, and all who stood in his way. He was a monster. Al-Baghdadi was trying again to rebuild the ISIS caliphate and failed. Tens of thousands of ISIS fighters have been killed or captured during my administration. ISIS is a natural enemy of Iran. The destruction of ISIS is good for Iran, and we should work together on this and other shared priorities. Finally, to the people and leaders of Iran, we want you to have a future, and a great future, one that you deserve, one of prosperity at home and harmony with the nations of the world. The United States is ready to embrace peace with all who seek it. I want to thank you, and God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you.
God bless America. God bless you, President Donald J. Trump. Shady, what do you think of that speech, huh?
I definitely think that he was being extremely direct, and I also feel like that, like I said earlier, he's paying very, very close attention to this. This is an extremely important time to see how, you know, remember, until we set events in motion, we don't exactly know how everything's going to play out, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, you know, it was a little bit tedious to see, you know, what we were going to do. Were they going to back down? Were they going to double down?
Yeah.
Seems like they've backed down, and that's a good thing. But, you know, in general, he seemed very direct, and he seemed relieved, in my opinion.
I think so too. And, you know, he does look tired. You know, there's a bunch of people going around Twitter saying that he's on drugs, for Christ's sake.
I would doubt that.
Yeah, I know. I heard the word monster, you know, a couple times now. He said it. So Q Post 51, One Nation Under God. I've watched society as it become effectively addicted to MSM apps, social media apps, games, music, all propaganda. And the moment you try to open anyone's eyes, you are shunned. Being dumbed down, weakened, and groomed for passivity and stupidity through food and their addictions, like calf literally being fattened for a slaughter. And with the race war, propaganda, and Pizzagate possibility, I became suicidal because I can't stand that no one will open their eyes and are being manipulated hard. I would hope with all my heart that Trump is going to make good on his promises to MAGA and clean the swamp. I've been thinking about joining the Navy for Corpsman Greenside, and I would love to serve under a Trump administration if he really does clean the swamp. We'll try to join regardless. No openings for Corpsman right now, though. I hope what the original post Anon says is true. I will be praying for the original post Anon, and who all risk their lives for safety, that the Lord will guide them, and praying that what he says is true, and we'll be praying for the spiritual edification of God for Trump and for his complete safety in all of this. The pieces are coming together for me, and boy, they're coming together for us right now, aren't they, guys? And if this is true, those working with him are absolute geniuses, because I would have never imagined there would be any way possible to take the monster of corruption that has overtaken this country. Dear Patriot, Q says, we hear you. We hear all Americans such as yourself. The time has come to take back our great land. The time is now. Remember, we were saying Iran next. Iran is now. The time is now. Rest assured, POTUS is backed by the absolute finest people alive who are all dedicated to the eradication of evil and corruption from the U.S. world. Find peace. God is with us. God bless and be safe. The White House. Or the White Hats.
Yeah, I was going to say, I almost said white hats.
But look at guys, right? Whoa. Monster. So I saw that. I thought that was very interesting. Senator Cruz was talking about the cash that Obama sent. But remember this. Remember this guy, guys. Let me get it right here. And he said the same money is being used to attack our troops. Let's listen to this.
There's a early 2014 email from Hillary Clinton, so not so long after she left Secretary of State, to her campaign manager, John Podesta. That email, it states that ISIS is funded by Saudi Arabia and Qatar, the governments of Saudi Arabia and Qatar. Now, this is I think this is the most significant email in the whole collection. And perhaps because Saudi and Qatari money is spread all over the place, including into many media institutions. All serious analysts know, even the US government has mentioned or agreed with that some Saudi figures have been supporting ISIS, funding ISIS. But the dodge has always been that's it's just some rogue princes using their cut of the oil money to do whatever they like, but actually the government disapproves. But that email says that no, it is the governments of Saudi and the government and Qatar that have been funding ISIS.
The Saudis, the Qataris, the Moroccans, the Bahrainis, particularly the Saudis and the Qataris, are giving all this money to the Clinton Foundation, while Hillary Clinton is Secretary of State and the State Department is approving massive arms sales, particularly to Saudi Arabia.
Under Hillary Clinton, and our Clinton emails reveal a significant discussion about it, the largest ever arms deal in the world was made with Saudi Arabia, more than $80 billion. In fact, during her tenure as Secretary of State, total arms exports from the United States, in terms of their dollar value, doubled.
And of course, the consequence of that is that this notorious terrorist jihadist group called ISIL or ISIS is created largely with money from the very people who are giving money to the Clinton Foundation.
Yes.
That's extraordinary.
But he's on drugs, and that's Russia Today Network, so we can't even watch that, right, guys?
Yeah, that's fake news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Look at that right there. I mean, that is this tells you everything you need to know. Just look at the connections. Now think 9/11.
Yeah.
And operations, and the idea of this discrepancy of the hijackers being Saudi, and no one ever talking about it in the news, and Iraq being the target, and Afghanistan being the target. No one talking about where the funding came from, who the people were, where it was started. This is in cooperation with other countries as well, including Israel, with 9/11. So, we have this verified reality that shows us who these players are. They're playing boogeyman. They're playing a game in front of you, and they're hoping you'll choose a side. If you can pull back, not choose a side, then you'll start to see the truth.
That's right. And what's interesting about this is it's tying all this uranium one together, and even
absolutely,
and here we go. So, by the way, fist bump to you queued up. Thank you, my brother. I really appreciate that. So look at this, guys. Let's listen to this guy. Here you go.
Legislation delineates what I call the going-in authorities of the president to use force. One fundamental weakness fundamental weakness of the War Powers Resolution is that it fails to acknowledge powers that most scholars agree are inherent presidential powers, such as the power to repel an armed attack upon the United States or its armed forces,
Boom.
or to rescue Americans abroad.
Boom. Thank you, Joe.
My legislation corrects
That's really all
this
we need to hear on that video. Thank you, Joe. So no laws broken, no trial. Schiff, sit down. Nancy, go to hell. We're done.
Exactly right.
All right, we're done.
It's just getting a little bit ridiculous, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. So Pelosi dodged Pence's phone call last night because she was drinking a two-fisted vodka with soda. Probably. But she wouldn't even answer the vice president's call, probably because she already knew it was happening because she was on the other side helping them. Ukraine releases the manifest of all passengers killed in the crash, guys. We're going to go over a little bit of that. But personally, I want to give the Daily Beast a big warning right here. This is Will Summers. This is everybody at the Daily Beast. This is all you guys. You guys better be careful inciting violence over there. You're an accomplice. If anything happens here in this article, they all fantasize, basically, they all but fantasize about Iran launching a terror attack on the president's beloved Trump Tower. These people are sick. And you want to know why we call you guys the enemy of the people? Just read your own damn articles.
Because it's blatantly obvious. We also had an ex-NFL person tweet at Iran with the overhead shots of the White House and saying that he's just, quote, hashtag trying to help.
Jeez, these people are sick.
These are Americans. You listen, hey, you're an NFL player. Do you think you would have been a success in Iran?
Nope.
Would you have been a success in Europe?
No.
Would you have been a success in Asia?
No.
Okay, so then why are you so bound and determined to attack the country of which gave you your wealth?
Right.
Because reality, we're in this together as Americans. No, nothing's perfect. Yes, people are da-da-da-da-da. But
yeah.
Regardless of that, we're in this country together. And listen, at some point, we have to stand up and say, you have to quit this. We're calling you out, and this is why we're calling you out. The silent majority is kind of sick of it, and I think that this leads also what you're just saying to the Daily Beast.
Yeah.
Did you hear the CNN just lost their case with Covington?
Yeah.
They settled out of court.
Yes, they did.
So you know what that means? That means anybody out there who's had fake news stories written about them by these people with uncorroborated anonymous sources have a lawsuit.
Shady, we can sue the Daily Beast.
I would prefer just Will Summer personally.
And Neon Revolt. Interesting. That'll be good.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Didn't he just get a book deal? Maybe you got some money with that. 150,000 people bought it times, what, $20? Huh. Interesting. All right, Shady, this is it too. The Daily Beast. They're called the Daily Beast. They tell you who they are. Martyr. Erodi. I can never say this guy's name. Erdogan, thank you. Expresses regret for killing Soleimani, calling him a martyr, guys.
A martyr.
Yeah.
Oh.
Martyr.
Okay, so this is getting real darn easy, bud.
Yeah, it is.
This is really getting easy. Look at the way the reaction to this
Thank you, Kiwi.
It's defined even clearer.
Yeah.
Who these people are.
That's right.
Anyone who's standing up for this person who is not a general in the Iranian army. Let's get that very straight. So everybody's talking about that this guy is he's not a general. This is not an attack on the army general of Iran. This is a militant faction, Quds Force, Revolutionary Guard Force side reality here.
That's using $150 billion to kill us.
We gave it to them on how many pallets of 2.5 million is a 1.5 billion, guys?
Jeez.
Think about number of pallets here. Look what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's
a proxy army is what Meech said. That's a good point. That's a great way to put it. They're a proxy army, Shady.
That's exactly what they are. They're a proxy army. They're
terrorists.
Yeah. They're terrorists per 9/11, and we got to start labeling everybody a terrorist. Do you know why that they look to make you take your shoes off and touch you in the airport?
Yep.
Because of terrorism.
So,
Quote unquote. Brr.
yeah. So Shady, do you think it's odd that a Ukrainian plane with 60 Canadians were on board, and we have Q drops that says Uranium One, Canada, EU, Asia, Iran, North Korea, Iran deal? Why is this relevant, Shady?
Do you think it's unusual that the plane was flying from Tehran to Ukraine?
Uh-huh.
Huh. What are rat lines, and were these people trying to get away?
63. And they were going in the same time that the bombs were going off.
The missiles were being shot, right?
Right. So this is 63 Canadians, guys. All right. 63 Canadians. Many of them were rocket science and scientists and nuclear scientists, Shady. Do you think so?
Why are rocket and nuclear scientists in Iran, Matrixx?
Yeah. Uranium One.
So you mean?
Didn't we just have a impeachment hearing about Ukraine?
If we had Uranium One, wouldn't we need people that know what to do with it?
Yeah.
Where are we going to get them?
Yeah. Yeah. So Iran will kill their own kids, and the deep state will kill their own kids with their scientists to cover up their Uranium One scam. Do you guys follow this? Are you guys 5-5 if you guys understand all this stuff?
That's what it looks like to me, but I've been called naive before.
Yeah, that's true too. I sure have as well.
It seems like some of this stuff on its face is kind of easy.
Again, this is an old tweet that I did a long time ago. I brought it back forward because it's that guy there on the EU side, or excuse me, that lady there on the EU side.
Right.
The EU foreign policy chief says Iran nuclear deal should stay.
Oh, it should?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so why don't we just give them another 1.5 billion?
Right. And then
let's just take why don't we just take the printing press over there and just turn it on?
Well, we did in Iraq, anyways.
Well, I mean, I know, but we need to move the equipment to Iran so that we can get them some.
Yeah. They're all
this
connected.
is ridiculous.
This is their whole scam, and they're trying to protect themselves. These people, the Anons, brilliant Anons, did a dig on this just by taking some of the names off the what is it called? The list of people that were on it. Yeah. The article, the list of the manifests. Thank you. The manifest. And basically we've got Michael Lindbergh, Ghazal Norian, researcher at Western University. We've got Marzia Fountan. She's University of Waterloo, and she's a Canadian, born in 1982, and she's alleged to have perished on their crash. She's had several papers on Google Scholar, and does rocket stuff.
No.
Yeah.
No.
We got another one here. Plane crash victim, Mahandi Tajik, student, activist, journalist, and a nuclear physicist. Released from prison 4 years to the day prior to the calm before the storm, which is, you'll find out, statement. 23 days prior to the first QAnon drop. Very interesting.
Someone who was released from prison was allowed to travel to Iran.
Well, yeah.
Oh. Well, now that would seem like very unusual.
Yeah.
Huh.
Journalists,
criminals flying to Iran?
Yeah.
Nah. Not trying to be judgmental.
No. This is another guy, Canadian, random Canadian from the manifest.
They kill you for being homosexual.
Arvin Motrab, senior power system engineer at Eaton in Canada. Canada, Uranium One, folks. You guys 5-5 in this. I see you guys 5-5. Rosatom. Yes, Rosatom is Uranium One, headquartered in Canada since 2013, owned by Russians. Rosatom. And remember the plane crash of the the MH17? Remember that one?
Yep, MH7.
Yeah. Something 17. Guys, it's all connected. The whole thing, this whole Iran, Iraq, all this stuff that we're seeing, the perfect phone call is all to cover up their Uranium One selling out of America, along with their child pedophilia scam, folks.
And the
MH70. Thank you, Claudette.
The disgusting nepotism in your government is another thing that's being covered up.
Yeah.
Because they, this is, and it's interesting too.
You mean the mob children getting jobs?
Exactly that. The cartel just keeps on cartelling, Matrixx. And
Right.
They just kind of just do it out of instinct. But the coming around of this is an overlay of China.
Yeah.
What's going on with the corruption and stuff, and moving of fissile material and stuff. This doesn't end in Iran. Iran is very pleased with China. As a matter of fact, China has just sent envoys to Iraq. Just yesterday, there were envoys to the parliament where they told the Iraqi parliament that they've got their back.
Yeah.
Okay, so look at the geopolitical game that's opening up here and unfolding.
Here we go. It's MH370. Thank you very, very, very much. That was one Patriot that said that. Thank you so much. MH370. Yes. And that was that flight out of Russia, or Malayan Airlines. Wait, was that the one? The one that crashed in Russia?
No, the MH370 I thought was the one that went missing. You're talking about the one that went down
in Russia, and we went over
the beginning
that.
Of the Q post.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, yeah, that's a different one. I was misunderstanding you there too.
Christine Rickert, you don't understand the Neon Revolt comment. He attacked us, so he's a divider, I guess. He's welcome to come on the show and explain why he doesn't like us, but he's not. He wasn't very friendly to us, and I will never attack him. But he attacked me. Period.
He spread fake news, wrote fake articles.
Yep. So he's got a fake book. How is it? Is it good? Does it mention Paysur? I'm sure it does. All right.
It doesn't.
Here we go. So basically, the president spoke today. Look at this dark to light, guys. Was that amazing?
That was pretty incredible whenever he came into the room, huh?
That's dark to light. That's what it reminded me of. I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so amazing.
Do you remember whenever Obama would stand there and he had always would have the background where it looked like he had horns?
Yeah, I know, right?
It's a little different than that.
Yeah.
Of a backdrop.
Rasatam. Yes. Be happy. Rasatam.
Rasatam.
Uh-huh. And so I wanted to, we were talking about this with WWG1WGA, remember this guy, Shady? This is another Seth Rich.
I remember.
And he was a Bernie Sanders supporter, and he was shown in a viral YouTube video serving the DNC papers for a lawsuit for vote fraud, for the organization favoring Hillary Clinton over Bernie. He died. But according to Snopes, I guess maybe that was, he died later.
If you're exposing voter fraud, that's a quick road to the Arkansas.
That's right. And here he is. Let's watch it real quick. I don't think it's very long. Let me just give you a taste of it. Here he is going into...
Still here. We're here, and you guys are going to witness this live right now.
Okay, let's witness it live. Here he goes in.
Struggling, and the constituents. The constituent and all that. And not
looks pretty healthy to me.
The wealthy people.
Okay, ID check-in. Serving the DNC. Acorn guy doesn't know what to do. I'm not angry. I'm not angry at all. We're winning. Who would be angry? But look at that, Shady. Basically, this guy serves a report to the DNC, a lawsuit, and he's found dead just a couple of days later.
Yep. And that's kind of a little bit to tell people what secure job really is.
That's right.
Okay. What is a whistleblower? Why does the sex trafficking hotline go to the Clinton Foundation?
Yeah, exactly right.
People don't ask, nobody in the news cares that the sex trafficking hotline rings the Clinton Foundation, do they?
That was so funny, wasn't it? Oh my gosh. American Patriot, I'm a UNC Marine veteran, refused to re-enlist under Obama. I have a cousin who is in the Marines, and I feel safer with Donald J. Trump as my president. I pray every night for our safety. God bless you, American Patriot.
Thank you for his service.
That's right. Eileen Wintels would love if you broke down the Orion deal for us. Why you endorse others while others do not? What exactly does it do? I have no idea what that means exactly. But yeah. So this is awesome too, because they said that it just burst into fire. Does that look like something that burst into fire to you, Shady?
No.
Doesn't that look like something that might have been shot down?
Yes.
I mean, those are pieces everywhere, Shady. That's not burst into fire. These are metal planes, folks.
Yeah, and the wreckage, I mean, that just like the whole site just doesn't look right. I'm not going to, I don't want to go crazy down speculating right now, but that site.
No, that's burst into fire. Shady, look, like, burst into fire, see?
Does that look like the size of a cockpit? I mean, those windows are tiny.
But that burst into fire, though, Shady. It's not, nothing's shattered it.
No. It's just burnt.
Look, there's the transmission of a 1972 Chevy.
I think that might have been a Plymouth.
I mean, this is not funny, folks. Prayers for everybody that lost their lives. I think they're covering up their people that might be able to speak, folks.
Well, there's speculation that the people that were maybe on there weren't even alive whenever it was shot down.
Yeah.
Maybe the missiles were a cover for shooting this thing down.
Well, there might have been some of that happening before. Where's that transmission?
Or maybe this was people trying to escape. I don't know.
Look at this. This looks like it does look like a transmission, doesn't it, though? Okay, only because I've had a couple of those go out in my car before. But look at this. They don't want to give the black box to you. Okay, so let's say, Shady, that it burst into flames, and I want to prove that I didn't shoot it down. Wouldn't I give that box quickly over to the UN or the international people so they can have it? Right? If I have nothing to hide, I'm going to give it to you.
Sure.
Okay. So guess what? Guess what, Shady? They're not giving over the box.
No, they're keeping it.
They're keeping it.
Mm-hmm. I saw that.
They're keeping it. They're keeping it because apparently, they have nothing to hide. I think it's because they shot it down, folks. That's my gut feeling. Obviously, there's a question mark there, so that's a theory.
Did you see the footage of it? A couple of people got footage of it coming down out of the sky, and it was on fire, falling.
Right.
So it was obviously struck by something.
Right.
It's not. An engine gets on fire, it's not going to come down out of the air sideways on its edge.
Wow.
They're going to try to land it. It's not an engine fire. Something hit it.
That's right. And look at this. These are some of the first photos.
Maybe there was a bomb on it.
There could be that, and like you said, they've done that before. I think the people were dead, before it, right? Something's wrong there. Something is wrong.
Even if you go back to the 70s and 80s, where was all the who were the hijackers?
Right.
There was like all this hijacking stuff. Whenever I was young, I'm like 5, 6 years old, thinking like, what's a hijacker? And then there's always hijacking in the news, right?
Yeah.
Boogeyman everywhere.
Color Right says, why are the black boxes painted orange? Orange box bad. I asked the same question. I thought it was kind of red, but orange works.
Black boxes are painted red, painted that color so they can be easier found.
Right.
And the black is more in reference to the idea that they're completely sealed and unpenetrable by the outside forces. Like fire, explosions. Whatever, they're lead encapsulated and sealed. So
Spud is saying that Dubai News said it was shot down by Iranian surface-to-air missile, and I believe it.
That's probably what happened.
It
probably accidentally hit the darn thing.
And if that's what happened, my gut was correct. And I did see some theorizing. It hasn't been confirmed yet, but could have been shot down, right? So,
but are there that many nuclear physicists and stuff on every flight out of Iran? I mean, that's awful convenient.
Shady, look at one of their missiles. Does that look like something that was fired and just landed in the desert? I mean,
that looks like something that maybe fell off the space station or something.
I mean, this is their cruise missiles. Now, you got to remember, cruise missiles are very accurate, folks. They missed on purpose. This is just...
What they were saying they actually fired this other type of missile that's more inaccurate, and their fleet of good missiles are a lot smaller than they claim to be.
Right.
So this looks like some ragtag thing out of the 90s.
Like it fell out of the back of one of their Toyota trucks or something.
Exactly right. Yeah, like they drove it out there in the desert. I mean, does it even look around this? Did they move it? Because it doesn't look like that's where it landed. It should make some sort of...
Wouldn't a missile hit with the
top, on its
tip?
top?
Yeah, just the tip.
Well, I mean, in theory, that's the way things should work.
Right? So I know we're having a little fun, but it doesn't look right to me. This may be even a fake picture. If it is, I will delete it, but just thought that was very interesting.
interesting how much fake stuff was coming out.
So another thing I want to point out about our president's speech, which was absolutely phenomenal, and we were in here watching it, just typing our comments, and I'm like, dude, this is total art of the deal. I mean, look at this. So basically, this is the writing of the ship. This is Operation Relentless Pursuit. Build your opponent a golden bridge to retreat across. So Donald J. Trump says, we want everybody to be successful. And if you keep acting that way, the sanctions are going to be there. If you guys want to be successful and have peace and everybody can be successful, we're there for you. It's the art of the deal, folks. That's amazing.
I would like to implore people to utilize that tactic in your life.
Yeah.
Give people a bridge.
A golden bridge to retreat across.
Give people a bridge to retreat across. Exactly. Don't pin them down behind enemy lines and keep firing red pills.
No more red pills.
Give them a bridge to retreat across. It's a great strategy in red pilling. Don't overcommit.
Right.
To any one topic. Just plant seeds and ask questions whenever we're talking about this stuff and being funny. That's part of what that is. That's part of what that tactic is, we're not really sure, but in war, as in communication, people need that understanding that they're not trapped.
This is from our favorite tater tot right here, Spud right here just dropped this link for us to the mods. Dubai News: Iranian missile took down Ukrainian plane that exploded after takeoff from Tehran airport. Guys,
wait a minute. It's like, where's the news?
Yeah.
It just caught on fire and fell out of the sky.
Yeah. And remember, who is running the rogue Iranian regime, Shady?
Our deep state.
Yes. 5-5, guys.
And there was a lot.
So this is why Nancy Pelosi was on the phone with Hillary saying, we need to take down the Ukrainian plane from the perfect phone call. Otherwise, we're going to look like idiots. Mm-hmm. Look at that.
Cover-ups are getting ready to be everywhere, bro.
Yeah. Preliminary images of the Ukraine plane suspected of being hit by Iranian missile. That's what I thought too, man. Wow. You are the news now, folks. Spud, you're the news.
Hey, Spud.
This is Hillary's blame. This is what's inside to Hillary's blame. She came, we voted, she lost.
Yeah, there's a lot more going on there. That's a crazy, man.
Where's my effing shoe? Kill. Oh gosh, wow. Oops, I fell. Deny. I'm above the law. He lives in my head. Picture of Trump. My turn. Lobe. Something like that. Oh gosh, satanic dude. Baphomet. Lie reflex. Pay for play. There's Ben Garrison. He's awesome, man. Love that guy. All right, so that's it, guys. That's what we got today for the Matrixxx Groove Hour. Shady, what else did we miss? Did we miss something?
I don't know that we really missed anything. It's a lot of news to be going on. We covered the earthquake that happened. Also, at the same time, missiles being launched at the same time, an airplane going down, and then the whole mainstream media saying that war is on.
Yeah, the war is on. And remember, the national draft website went down because of them saying that you're going to go to war. You're going to go to war. All these kids are freaking out right now. And that is fake news, folks. There will be no war. Our president and the Patriots, in my opinions, from what we went over, don't forget to get over to those Q posts, guys, that we did.
In my opinion,
the Iran ones.
The only time this president would declare or attempt to declare war would be if our homeland was attacked.
That's right.
He is a Jacksonian.
Yes.
He does not believe in foreign wars, and you also have to be strategic in de-escalating. This is a way of de-escalation, by the way.
That's right.
What we're seeing happen is, what we're seeing happen in Iraq, what we saw happen with Soleimani, that is what I call de-escalation. Everybody on your news calls it exactly the opposite. But to me, that looks like the most profound statement of de-escalation you could possibly have, because we took out a guy that caused the Ayatollah Khomeini to act like that on camera.
That's right.
When have you ever seen that man act like that?
Oh my gosh, that's crazy, right?
I mean, that is crazy. He's like beating himself up.
He's like, the CIA is going to kill me. Oh my God, Hillary's going to kill me. I'm dead. That's what he was doing.
I failed.
He failed.
And failure means, Arkansas.
Yep. And as you know, you pretty much hurt yourself when you are of that faith when you fail. That's what they do.
Yep.
So look, guys, make sure you get this video out. It is probably one of the best videos that Shady and I have ever done. We've gotten some amazing feedback on
3.5 hour bombshell Iranian exposure of what is really going on that your deep state cronies are covering up, and they stand there every day and get all smug and tell you that they know more than you and they're smarter than you, and when you have a question, you're just an idiot.
Yep, and remember, Iran is now, folks, and here we are. Future proofs past 71 Iran drops that Shady and I went through with you again. And we saw articles that we forgot about, Shady, and it was absolutely amazing stuff there. Make sure you take the time. I know it's 3.5 hours long, but please take the time to share that out. Tell people if you really want to know what's going on with Iran, Q has been pretty darn on point. And now today we've got the Iran missed, right? We go over the post here that the generals are going to go with the people because the people are the people that want their bad regime out too. We have a Q Army Iran, guys. We've got the Ukrainian plane with 60 Canadians on it. I mean, the Q post shows you the order. It's all right there, guys. And Q, thank you very much for what you've done for this movement. Thank you guys very much for being here as well. We love you very, very much. And we couldn't be doing this without you, Shady Groove. I couldn't be doing this without you, too. You're the one that got me out here on this platform. Jeez, my voice for the first time ever on the first Pay Sewer video we did, Shady.
Not according to Magaco.
Well, yeah, right. I'm some other guy that says Trump is a Zionist.
They came out and they made me start investigating you and make sure that I was a
craziness, man. That's why you came and met me. Make sure I wasn't some Zionist guy, right, or something. I don't know. Or,
yeah, it was all that. It was all that. Your first video way back when on YouTube.
But wait, wasn't I a war drummer? Me and War Drummer weren't we pedophile, satanic pedophile ring guys or something? Yes. I can't. What am I today, Shady? I don't know.
Busy.
All I know is I'm on Hillary Clinton's top 200 list and attacked by people that call themselves patriots. That's all I know.
Yep.
So
that's par for the course.
Par for the course and a badge of honor. And I will never, ever tell you who to follow. It's your discernment. I love you guys very much. And we're going to get right on out of here. And we're going to get out of here with some VV55. What do we have? Thank you very much for joining the Matrixxx Groove Hour. Love you guys very much. Where we go one, we go all. Here we go. Don't forget to follow Shady Groove with 3 O's on Twitter. Me with 3 X's. intheMatrixxx.com. Thank you. Peace.